That's not.
Let's talk about a confrontation that JR had with Randy Savage in the studio. He says as soon as he walked through the door, Randy yells, "Get out." And then he gets right into Jim's face and says, "Who put you up for it? Who got you? You're bringing me in here to do all this work." And JR says, "I whispered through my dry mouth, I don't know what you're talking about." And he says Randy didn't like that reply at all. And he's yelling about the fact that he was brought in to do interviews when, quote, "I'm not even booked to be here." And JR would say clearly someone had been in Randy's ear, stirring him up, and Randy's fit to be tied, saying, "Are you goddamn ribbing me, Ross?" And JR says, "Randy, you're a household name. I want to get you on TV to help get these angles over." And Savage lays it in again. "Shut up. You think it's funny bringing me in here to do this shit, do you? Because if you think that, you're..." And Randy said, a familiar voice from down the hallway, "The boys are working you." And he tilts his head to the side and realizes it's Gorilla. And Randy continues, "This asshole brings me in here to do these promos because he thinks it's funny to have the Macho Man come in to do promos." And Gorilla says, "Jim's just doing his job. It's the boys who are ribbing you." There for a minute though, Randy was sort of concerned that this is going to be a situation to the point where eventually Gorilla has to say, "Let him go." I mean, he's grabbing him by the collar and the whole deal, and fingers are in his face and veins are popping out of his neck. This is a weird deal for JR, I'm sure. And not a lot of people have seen this side of the Macho Man, certainly not in a studio. What was it about Jim that just made him a heat-seeking magnet, even with someone like Randy Savage?
Because I think that Jim is the type Jim will tell you about himself and tell you how great he's doing. And Jim will tell you all the different things that he's doing. And I'm making this change and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So he'll want the credit. He'll take the credit. And then when it affects something and someone comes back, says, "Well, who did that?" "Well, it's Jim Ross." So Savage, being Randy, was going to get in his face and confront him. And, ain't going to happen that on my watch. I'm going to be here and do interviews all day. I'm the Macho Man, Yeah, read my hat. It's on my hat right here on the brim, and then on my trunk's got man. Yeah, Macho, fuck you. So, and Jim being the new guy, Jim's just trying to do his job, doesn't know a lot of the personalities and sometimes how some guys are handled with kid gloves and what have you. He's doing what he's told to do, trying to get through it. And some of the talent were like, "What the fuck is he doing trying to tell me what to do? I'm the Macho Man." And you have to go through those waters to get in the deep end and swim. And if you can get out there and swim, then you're good to go. But if you don't get eaten along the way, then you're kind of fucked.
Let's talk about September 6th. It's a special edition of Raw on a Friday night. This is the first time that JR really becomes involved in an angle. It's the regrettable fake Diesel, fake Razor angle. What can you tell me about this and how from JR's perspective?
Well, from JR's perspective, I think that he didn't understand why he would be a heel, and JR's a heel in real life. So we thought we'd put that on screen there. JR had credibility. So for JR to tell us that Razor and Diesel are coming back, the audience is going to believe good old JR because he's not going to lie to me. And we did bring Razor and Diesel back. So in using Jim, you were using that credibility to say for people to go, "Holy fuck, what's going on?" Because you'd seen Scott Hall and Kevin Nash on the competitor show. And now here's an opportunity oh my God, they're coming back. So that was why we used JR just to get that message out there and associate him with Razor and Diesel right from the get-go.
It's not the best angle in the world, but, JR does a great job with the promo. He comes out and cuts, almost like a worked shoot promo where he's talking about the real life hiring and firing and trials and tribulations he's had of, of working with Vince McMahon, and that happens on the September 23rd Raw. What did you think of the promo that he cut that day? Because if you haven't seen it, you should go out of your way to see it. Maybe we'll link it on our social, but it's September 23rd, 1996. And there's a lot of realism in that promo. And, not a lot of fans knew the backstory. This is before, information was as readily available on the internet as maybe it is now. What'd you think when you see JR deliver this impassioned promo in the middle of the ring?
I thought it was great because it was real. It was all the shit that Jim had said. It was all the shit that Jim had actually lived and been through. So for him to go out and say all of the things that he said, that was coming from the heart. And it was everything that he had lived through and experienced. And those stories were already out there. So now it's an opportunity for him to tell it in an entertaining way and make it part of a storyline that made sense, and people believed it because it was true.
Yeah. I mean, they did believe it because it had so much realism to it. And supposedly, depending on who you believe, it even gets a bit of a raise for Hall and Nash on the WCW side of things.